Welcome to the Explainer. Now, today we aren't just looking at a standard business update. Not at all. What we're actually doing is dissecting a masterfully crafted playbook. Honestly, it feels like we're looking at a leaked strategy document. We are breaking down Amazon's multi-billion-dollar strategy to conquer what is arguably one of the most complex, diverse, and rapidly growing consumer markets on the planet, India. So get ready because the sheer scale of what they've built here is absolutely fascinating. Here is our roadmap for today's Explainer. We're going to start with entering the market, move right into identifying the perfect buyer, examine building the retail machine, step on to the e-commerce battlefield, and finally look at the road ahead. We're going to methodically break down the exact machine Amazon built to take on this market. All right, Section 1, entering the market, the foundation. Let's zoom in on their grand vision. To really get Amazon, you absolutely have to understand this single, anchoring ethos. It's their core mission globally, sure, but it is the absolute bedrock of their Indian playbook. Every single strategic move they make, from how they route a local delivery truck, to the digital entertainment they produce, to the way they handle a simple return, it all stems from this relentless focus on convenience, innovation, and customer satisfaction. It's not just a catchy corporate slogan, it's literally the operational algorithm that runs their entire business model. Now, what's really interesting about this is the year, 2013. When Amazon launched Amazon In, they didn't inherit some massive pre-existing digital ecosystem. No way. They built it completely from scratch, starting right there in 2013. In just over a decade, they transformed from a brand new entrant into one of India's largest online marketplaces, serving millions of customers through a mind-bogglingly vast logistics network. Moving on to Section 2, identifying the perfect buyer. Because how does a giant corporation figure out exactly who to target across a sprawling nation of over 1 billion people? Well, look at how they chop up this massive audience. If we zoom out to the geographic spread, you see they aren't just looking at the big tech hubs. They are casting a massive net from metro cities all the way out to rural and semi-urban areas. But if you zoom in on the psychographics, the behavioral side of things, you see their real target. They're zeroing in on a really tricky paradox. Consumers who are highly tech-savvy but relentlessly value-conscious. They want the shopper who demands premium brands but, absolutely insists on a steep discount and lightning-fast delivery. So who actually makes up this core target market? It's a highly calculated mix. We've got the usual suspects, urban consumers, millennials, Gen Z. But pay close attention to the inclusion of small businesses and entrepreneurs. Amazon needs sellers just as much as buyers to make this whole machine work. It's really a dual-engine strategy, right? You acquire the newcomers, and you aggressively lock in the loyal premium customers to fuel the ecosystem. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 3, building the retail machine, or the muscles of the operation. Amazon operates as a highly integrated ecosystem. Yes, of course, they sell physical goods like electronics and fashion, but look at the inclusion of Prime Video, digital services, and fresh groceries. The strategy isn't just about being a store, it's about monetizing attention. By embedding themselves into every aspect of a consumer's daily routine, they create this almost impenetrable wall of customer lock-in. Now, having a massive ecosystem is great, but here is the multi-billion-dollar question. In a country famously and intensely value-conscious, how do you actually win a price war? How do you get those consumers to actually open their wallets? Well, you do it with an incredibly aggressive, multi-layered pricing playbook. It's not just about slapping a low price on a t-shirt. It's about dynamic pricing that shifts in real time with market demand. It's leveraging the psychological urgency of daily and lightning deals and massive cultural events like the Great Indian Festival. But what you should really take away from this is their strategic use of bank discounts and EMI, equated monthly installment options. This buy now, pay later feature is a powerful psychological tool. It allows them to attract highly price-sensitive shoppers to high-ticket items, all while maintaining their own profitability. It's genius, really. And this brilliantly illustrates how they pull it off physically. To get those discounted products into the buyer's hands, they rely on this omni-channel logistics chain. It starts in these massive fulfillment centers, moves to sortation centers, filters down to local delivery stations, and finally hits the road with last-mile delivery partners. This exact 4-step physical journey is the incredibly capital-intensive moat they've built to solve the massive problem of reaching remote areas across the vast Indian subcontinent. Which brings us to Section 4, the e-commerce battlefields. Because building a finely tuned retail machine certainly doesn't make you immune to attacks. Let's actually pit Amazon against itself for a moment.
On the left, their strengths are undeniable, right? A globally trusted brand fueled by extensive AI tech and a locked-in Prime loyalty ecosystem. But on the right, look at the vulnerabilities. That massive four-step logistics chain we just talked about, it burns immense capital. Furthermore, relying on millions of third-party sellers to populate their marketplace opens up a total Pandora's box of regulatory challenges and severe counterfeit concerns. And those vulnerabilities are exactly what the competition is trying to exploit. Amazon isn't fighting lightweights here. They are in the ring with local heavyweights. Flipkart goes toe-to-toe with them on massive festive sales and completely dominates in fashion. Meesho is aggressively capturing the Tier 2 and Tier 3 markets with hyper-affordable products. And then you have JioMart and Tata Neu. Guys, these aren't just websites. These are massive, deeply established Indian retail networks, bringing unified digital ecosystems to the fight, leveraging sheer parent company dominance. So, how on earth does Amazon fight back? With a highly targeted, data-driven promotional counterattack. They don't just blast generic TV ads, they use AI-powered personalized recommendations to show you exactly what you want before you even search for it. More importantly, they use regional language SEO and localized influencers to penetrate diverse local markets. They leverage customer data to optimize push notifications, ensuring their marketing feels personal, regional, and immediate. It's not just marketing, it's literal algorithmic behavioral prediction. Let's move to our final section and see how this builds into the road ahead. To maintain the throne, Amazon has to execute on a few key strategic fronts. First, speed. Pushing that logistics network to deliver next day into emerging semi-urban, Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. Second, trust. Aggressively tightening quality control to kill that counterfeit problem we mentioned. And third, scale. Deepening their localization through enhanced AI voice commerce and investing in sustainable EV-driven delivery to optimize their long-term operating costs. If you take away literally just one thing from this explainer, make it this. Amazon's ultimate defense and their ultimate offense is the relentless, continuous improvement of customer experience, logistics, and the Prime ecosystem. That tightly integrated web of fast delivery and digital services is the moat that protects their castle. But look, the Indian e-commerce market is expanding rapidly, and those local titans we talked about are only getting stronger, deeply integrating their own physical retail networks into the digital space. So I leave you with this provocative thought to ponder. As these massive local conglomerates continue to rise, will Amazon's unmatched AI and hyper-efficient logistics be enough to keep them permanently on the throne? It's a high-stakes e-commerce war, and we'll be watching every single move. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.